Alrighty, knuckleheads. Grumpy Grandpa here. My better half, Debbie, is with me as usual now. It's what you look scared today.
I never know why I'm here.
Well, that's because the ratings go up whenever I can talk to. If I just talk to myself, it goes nowhere. So at least I can say what I want and look at you.
You're supposed to say what you want.
Listen,
and look at the camera.
The other day on your show, I had the fishy shirt, which is my favorite shirt, and I think you have on your favorite shirt.
I do have on my favorite shirt.
And I like that shirt. You've always looked really good in that. So let's get started with the show.
Okay.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did.
It's still going, but
it is still going.
And we had breakfast out at the farm.
We did have breakfast, and then we had a little bit of
something on Friday.
Well, no, but something going on last night. I had to stay with my mom.
Yeah. She wasn't feeling too well, so you stayed with her, and we did have something on Friday.
We did have something on Friday,
and we'll get to that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that first. First off, what do? I'm sitting there on Saturday. And I'm like, ooh, Whiskey and Sunshine off grid. I like to just call them Whiskey and Sunshine, but they're Whiskey and Sunshine off grid. So I'm watching their channel.
Yes.
And she's cooking up. And I really got to learn people's first names because I don't remember.
Shelly.
Shelly, okay.
Her name is.
I'm so bad with names. So don't take it personal. I don't know anybody's name until I've worked with them for a while. I don't even know.
He still doesn't know my name.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to it. So I'm watching that, right?
Yes.
Let's not get sidetracked on my show, okay?
Okay.
So I'm watching it, and Shelly is cooking up stew. She's doing it in her crock pot.
Yes.
Which, two things come to mind. Crock pot takes, she said, like 7 to 8 hours. She's just going to let it cook.
Yes.
And then my brain goes to being a tight with my money. And I'm like, ooh, that's going to cost, electric all day long to make that. I'm that way, aren't I?
You are that way.
But then I thought, oh my gosh, they got solar. It's probably a sunny day. It's not costing them a dime to, extra to make that stew. So that's the first thing that went in my head. The second thing that went in my head is, boy, that looks really good. And I was like, Debbie? I started going, Debbie, it's dinner time and I'm hungry. And again, I don't know where you go at dinner time, but you find somewhere in this house and you never answer me. And then I think you have cameras because after I have something cooked, then you come back into the thing. But so stew sounded really good.
Okay.
So I couldn't get it off my brain. So I broke down, and you know how I'm cheap, right? There's Dinty more, right?
Yes.
Which is good. But I got the great value beef stew, and we got that during the snowstorm for easy cooking. I had that on hand. I had a couple cans of those on hand. I'm like, there you go. But it doesn't fill you up. It's more a bunch of the the gravy and everything, right? So then I went and got me a potato. This one has no roots growing, but the one I used to get rid of already had the root. It was still good, but the roots were already coming out of that. We need to eat our potato. We buy the potatoes.
And then we don't eat them.
They always baked potatoes sound great all the time, and they sit in a bag, and we don't eat them. So I got one of those out.
Yes.
Then I went to my go-to standard, which is Slap Your Mama. Put some of that in there to give it a little bit more spiciness.
Yes.
Or I use Tony Chechers or whatever it is. I like that too. But I went with Slap Your Mama. Got some garlic and pepper. Some salt. Heart healthy salt. You know how I like out of a plastic container. Because why? Because it tastes better. The salt tastes better out of a plastic container. And the Worcestershire sauce, and put some of that in there along with the baked potato. And man, not too bad. Not as good as Shelly's.
I'm sure.
Nowhere close, because she put in cans of cream of chicken and cream of mushroom, I think. Whatever. It looked fantastic.
It did look fantastic.
Go check out Whiskey and Sunshine Off Grid. Shelly and who?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you don't know the guy's name. I don't either. I'm terrible with names. I know them as Whiskey and Sunshine. One quick other thing, since we're getting off course, and since you're getting off course and starting subjects that don't matter on my show, it's all your fault, is their show is called Whiskey and Sunshine, right?
Yes.
Off Grid. Now, if that show took place on the other side of the continent up north.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it'd be called? Whiskey and dreary, rainy, nappy days over at Washington State. We lived there for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And there, granted, now there's 3 months. It's beautiful up there. But the rest of it, it's just overcasty and rainy.
It'd probably be called coffee and dreary.
No, whiskey and coffee and dreary. How about that? Whiskey, coffee, and dreary. Because, boy, them winters up there are brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't really get that cold like it does in Maine. But, man, okay, so let's get back on track. So what happened Friday?
We did a show?
No. Well, we did do a show.
Mm-hmm.
We did a show over on Two Old People on a Couch.
Yes.
Go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
But we were doing the something. And
Mm-hmm.
as usual, Fred came over.
Yes.
After the show. And Karen, who's not here. I don't know why I'm pointing at Karen right now. Because Fred's here. Well, Fred, he came over. Karen went jetting off to the Youngins bars to go...
Do the youngin things?
Youngin things. Probably do... I've been teaching her some shuffle
dance. Oh, you got back from your shuffle dance.
Yeah, I did my shuffle dance on Friday. I was wore out, but I showed Karen some of the shuffle dance moves. And she went off to the bar.
Okay.
With the youngins. So Fred was here with us. He hacked in again.
Yes.
And SpaceZ, that if you didn't watch my last show, SpaceZ has got a manned mission to Mars. Siri thinks that's interesting. Okay. Sure thing. See? Sure thing. Even Alexa agrees that this is actually happening. Now, you might not have heard that because of the limiter or something like that. But Alexa actually said, not Alexa, Siri said, sure thing. That was kind of interesting. Yeah. So, SpaceZ is going manned mission tomorrow. Well, Fred, my nuclear scientist, turned producer, and probably because he can't hold the job down. He hacked in there, and he told me they use spread spectrum technology and frequency hopping technology, which I used to know about back in the day whenever I was in the military. But now every phone has that technology, so it's not top secret or anything like that anymore. But it's virtually impossible to hack. But Fred did.
Fred did it because he's a nuclear scientist.
Because he's a nuclear scientist, and that makes him also a computer genius. So he hacked in and got the latest space. And he found out that my twin brother was on the ship going to
Mars.
So here's Starlog, the second Starlog we were able to hack.
Okay.
Alexa softball, initiate, Starlog 3:28:21. Okay. Thanks, softball Alexa. It's rolling. So, I haven't done a Starlog for a couple of days, and we haven't heard from SpaceZ at all, and it's starting to get kind of concerning because, SpaceZ should be contacting us, you would think. And I don't know, the other 5 crew members here, we're getting a little crazy here. So, past time, me and one of the older gentlemen from back northeast also, he knew how to play euchre. I knew how to play euchre, so we taught the other crew members and the youngins how to play euchre. So that was an interesting night. And of course, the other guy that knew how to play euchre also, he also knew how to cheat too. We both knew how to cheat. So, if you talked about, like, say, the weather, that means you were stacked with spades. If you talked about cars, that means, you were stacked with diamonds, and so on. It's a thing you do, Us professional Eucharist players, we know how to do that. But that's beside the point. We got caught too, and that started a whole bunch of other stuff. But while we were playing, before we got caught cheating, we started talking amongst ourselves, and we found out that SpaceZ told everybody else that everybody else was an astronomy
astronaut anom- anonymous. That's what it was. Astronaut anonymous. It sounded legit to me, and that all the other crew members went to college to become an astronaut. Well, they told all the other people that, and you were the only one there. And then they said, we took you because you could think outside the box or something like that. So none of us went to school for this, but SpaceZ told us that. So that got us kind of concerned, and we haven't heard from SpaceZ yet. So we went to, we started looking around the ship, and we found the gas gauge, the fuel gauge for the Starship. And I don't know if this is a joke or what, but they made it out of a 2001 Camry, 2001 Toyota Camry gas gauge. I know because I've got one, and it's the same thing. So I don't know if that's a joke, SpaceZ, or if you were just trying to save money. But according to the one guy, that he took a little bit of math in college, he says we only got enough fuel to make it to Mars. And that got me thinking. I've got Titleist here, who sponsors me. They approached me and said, hey, we'll give you millions of dollars once you get back to Earth. And I was like, yeah, I'll come to Mars, get back to Earth, and I'll be filthy rich. So I thought that was a great idea. Now I'm starting to think that maybe SpaceZ might have been the guy that came, and he wasn't from Titleist, because it's, I never heard of SpaceZ before coming here, and it got me thinking, maybe I was duped, because if I don't get back to Earth, I don't get millions of dollars, and it was just an incentive to get me to come on this trip to Mars. And maybe we're just on a secret trip or something to Mars, just as guinea pig, to see, if we would start getting mad at each other. And the young guys, they have already started. They got one sex robot on this ship, and the two young guys, they sign it out. They're fighting over signing that thing out left and right already. So we got that going on. Half the crew doesn't like me and the other guy because we're cheating at euchre. You probably got cameras all over the ship, so you probably know this is all going on anyways, SpaceZ. But I'm going to keep doing these star logs, because just in the case that if this is all true and we do get back to Earth, I get paid for my trip and I did it all correctly. But for now, it's starting to look shady. So that's what I got here. That's the end of my star log for today, SpaceZ. If you guys could call us, and make contact with us to let us know if any of this is true or not, or what's going on, we sure would appreciate it. Me and the other 5 crew would sure appreciate that. So this is the end of my star log for today.
Well, I was gauging how long I would hold my audience through that show by looking at you and how you were, and you were checking the time. You were ready to get out of here.
Yeah,
so
I was thinking I could go for a cup of coffee and get back here.
So I'm thinking maybe.
I liked how we weren't in the corner, though. I liked that. How it was full. We were full.
Yeah,
full
just put it up
time,
there. So we just don't sit there like this.
Yeah.
But so who knows? We'll see. I think this trip is gonna keep continuing if I don't start losing subscribers. But if I start losing subscribers, obviously I probably need to do something else. But I found it interesting that Fred was able to hack in again, and that there's 5. At least we know there's 6 people.
Yeah.
Going to Mars. And there's 2 older people, 2 younger people. That's all we know so far. And it doesn't sound. Fred told me that they didn't have enough gas to get back. He already knew that from hacking into the ship and everything. So now my twin brother, David, he figured out that it might be a one-way trip. And, guys, they're going to fight sooner or later up there on that. I mean, you're not just going to be like, oh, hi, in a cramped little area and them not start going nuts. So it'll be really interesting to see if all of them make it to Mars. I mean, my I used to play euchre with my twin brother, David, and we did do that. We cheated. We would, have signs and stuff like that. And you could get away with it sometimes, but the other Eucharist specialists, they knew as soon as you started talking about the same thing here and there, they knew that and then boy, there would be fights break out. So, you got anything else to add to this great show that we had today?
I don't have anything else to add.
But I'm gonna find you one day on Saturday and Sunday, especially at dinner time. And have some dinner, so I'm not like going. And again, I don't have 8 hours. I don't have the patience that other people have cooking, do I? I mean, if I can't cook it in the microwave, if it takes more than 5 minutes or something to cook, 10 minutes tops, I can't do it. And I really applaud the people that love to cook and love to spend the time and energy to cook, because they have some whale of good that I don't know anything about. Because of her. But
okay.
Hey. I love you, though. I love you. I love this. And check out Two Old People on a Couch. That's where we both came over from. Yeah. From Studio Z. And we came here to Studio Z and do my show in Studio Z also. Yes. And we got the green screen over there. We do. Okay. The green screen. That's it. Talk to you later. Have a good week, people, and we'll see you probably halfway through the week on Grumpy Grandpa, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on Two Old People on a Couch. My show, once on the weekend, probably once in the middle, and then, and so on. So, boy, it'll be interesting to see, the retention of how long people watch this video, and if I start losing subscribers because they think, not you, but I'm a little bit too nutty. Okay, talk to you later, everybody. Have a good evening.